as we said, if we use this character in and the get line together, this is gonna cause an error. So let's suppose we had another string and we name it last name, and we're gonna say enter your first name, and this time we're gonna ask from the user to enter it as character in and the first name. And then what we're gonna say, cout enter your middle and last name. We're gonna say get line character in the last, or let's change this in last mid. Okay, yeah, just have it last name, or we're just gonna name it, yeah, that's fine, last name. And even though it's, if I run this now, this will cause an error, and let's see what will gonna happen. And before doing that, we said hi. So we're gonna write first name is first name, and in the line, and then we're gonna say last, middle, and last name is last. In line, no need for that, and we're gonna say return 0. So let's see what's gonna happen over here. If I compile this, we have an error over here. If I compile and run it, it's gonna say enter your first name, and as you guys see, the program stopped without asking from me for my middle and last name. And the reason for that is, or let's end the line over here. So this gonna, if I run this program and say enter your first name and I enter it, then the program stops without asking from me for my middle and last name. So it says only first name, and the last name is, middle and last name is empty. The reason is for that is when we use our statement, which is character in, what's gonna do, it's gonna after entering our first name, it's gonna, we have an empty space over here that our character in is not gonna take it. So it's gonna take only this one and print, and over here we're gonna left with an empty space over here. And when we come over to this line, which it says enter your middle and last name, and we end up at the get line, what get line does is gonna say, as we said, the get line is gonna get everything on that line. So it's anything we typed on that line, it's gonna get it. So, but it's gonna come over here and it sees that this line is not finished. Our first name is gone, but this empty space is still over there. So it's gonna come over here and it says, okay, let me finish. Let me take everything on this line. So it's gonna come and sees there is nothing, and only this empty space. Okay, it says, okay, I'm gonna take this empty space, and it will end and say, okay, I've reached to the finish of the line. Okay, I will stop. But if it stops, then what we get is only an empty line. So that's what happens. So if we enter character in leaves an empty space at the end of the line, and when the get line comes, it kind of comes say, okay, there is line over there, let me get every information on that, and it comes and sees everything is empty until it reaches over here, and it's gonna say, okay, I got what I want, and says, okay, I reached to the end of the line, and it's gonna print the empty space for it. To prevent that, what we're gonna do is remove that empty space, and the way or ignore that empty space, and the way to do that is, after putting our character in first name, we're gonna put another character in, and this time we're gonna say we're gonna use a new statement, which is ignore. So what's this gonna do? It's gonna ignore the line that we left over there, and our program will continue and ask from us. So we say enter your first name, we enter it, and it says enter your middle and last name. So we enter it, or let's say Dale, and say first name is Omar, and the last name and middle name is this one. What's happened over here? Let's explain what happened over here. So what we did is we asked from the user to enter his first name, and after the user, okay, let me capture the screen. So we ask from the user to enter his first name, and after that user enter the first name, and we have this empty line left over here, right? But with what we did over here, we executed another statement, which is character in ignore. So this character, what's gonna come over here? It's gonna come over here, and it's gonna take this line. So there is no more line. So we're gonna come over here, and our function will, our get line, okay, it says, okay, I'm gonna take everything on this line, but sees that this line is not anymore there, so it's gonna ask for the character in. So the user enters the character in, and it's gonna take everything. So that's the way to solve this problem when you are using the get line and character in together. Just use the character in ignore to solve your problem.